Hey, it's Marvin. Is this thing on? Yeah, it's on. I can see it says record. See this? $5. Mark's daughter edits all these videos. Mark's gonna say, I took this head off and now I'm gonna work on the score reels. You don't know. Marvin's the strong arms. He does all the heavy work. So let's get this head off, put it on the table, and then watch. I bet you Mark takes credit for it. I bet you he does. We're just going to get that nasty glass out. Oh, is that heavy? Yeah, I'll get rid of 500 pounds off this machine when I move it. Now I'm going to unbolt these head bolts, put it down on the table. And then Mark's going to come in and start the video and be like, oh, I just took the head off the machine, let's get started. Now you know how it really happens. Yeah. And when I'm done with this, I'm gonna raid his refrigerator. His wife's a really good cook. She's got a lot of good fixings in the refrigerator after Christmas. I'm gonna go in there, have me a feast. Cause there'll be food around the corner, food around the corner, food around the corner for me. When I raid his refrigerator, there'll be food around the corner, food around the corner. And this bolt don't want to come out easy. When I put it back together, or Mark puts it back together, well, it'll never seize on them bolts. A little grease or something. Make them easier to come out. This one's really stubborn. Make sure the machine's unplugged too, people. You don't want to zap yourself like Mark does all the time. He even records it. Alright, heads off. I'm sure Mark's gonna take credit for this now, saying that he took the head off. He does all the work. I admit he does work on the machines. I don't know nothing about these dang nubbit on pinballs. I can put quarters in them and play them real good, but I know nothing about them. So, I think since we're here, let's take this playfield off too. That's got to come off anyways. We'll take the playfield off and we'll put the playfield right here. Because he's got to work on that too. There'll be food around the corner. I should have left that head on and unplugged this thing. Dang that. Food around the corner for me. Oh, look at that mess. This up here. Okay, now I can see the force for the playfield. A big muscular arm doesn't fit through here well. Hoping there's just this reach. should be it. There we go. Light field's out. Damn, knocker on close too. This will be the next thing that gets removed. This is a relay box. I'll probably end up doing that too. Alright. Don't tell Mark about this, because this is going to be the funny part of the video. Like I said, give his daughter this shiny new $5 bill. And she's going to edit this in front of the video. After Mark approves it, she'll put this in front. It's going to be funny. Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we're going to be working on the score reels on the Chicago Coin Casino. As you can see, I got the head already off the machine. I took it off and I put it on the table here. So this is what we're going to be working on. I figured we will start with this reel here. Let's zoom in on it, because that's probably going to be one of the best ones for you to see as I take it apart. Let me see if I can get this up a little bit higher. I can make sure my camera doesn't slide down. There we go. Alright, a lot of these are held in by these little clips here. These just pull straight out, but for some reason this one doesn't have that. So what we're going to do first is we're just going to slide this out and pull it off here. As you can see, we got 3 screws we're going to remove first, which I need my little screwdriver for. Trying to make these videos a little bit different. So I had some people tell me, you know, you're doing a really awesome job, Mark, thank you, but you're getting in the way of taking them apart sometimes. So after, you know, I watch my own videos when I edit them and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, damn it, I did get in the way. So right now I got my camera hooked up to a giant TV. I think it's like a 42-inch LG, so I can watch you. I'll actually watch myself take these apart easier, and then I can see if everything's in focus. Alright, so this reel comes off, and I can see it's keyed right here. A little tab. That, put that out of the way, is going to ride right in here. You can see there's a little groove right there. It's going to ride in there. That's the only groove that's on this thing, actually. So this is basically pretty simple, just like the other machines I have worked on. So I think we're going to take that screw off next, so we can get this wiper off. This is spring loaded, I can feel it right now, so watch that. I'm holding it both down the gear with my finger. So yes, that is spring loaded. And I hear these pieces break all the time. So there's a cotter, a clip that is holding that down from popping off, which is good. Alright, let's get these other things off. needle nose pliers time. Actually, since I got this off like this, let me get my camera out and take a picture. You know, take pictures. How did I actually? Why is this thing taking pictures? All right. There. Got a good picture on it, so we can see how it's all laid out and everything like that with the springs and stuff. Better be safe than sorry. Taking the springs off here. This one spring is really soft, it doesn't do much. Alright, let's get my little screwdriver off. We're going to take this clip right here off, which is just a C-clip. You gotta watch these things because these clips will fly. Put that right here. I should just pull straight off. I'll go in the plastics bin. Now, let's flip this bad boy over and we will get at this clip. Alright, as you can see, it's just a regular clip. Let me pull it off. Let me get my little forceps. This will clamp onto it and hold it at the same time. There. Pull that off. And there's the clip. There's the spring. Note how it is. It's kind of pointing up like a mountain. And this feels like it will just pop out now. What do we got here? A wire nut. Great. Why do we have a wire nut there? I don't know why. Okay. Everything was working, so I don't know what that was for. But we will solder that back together. This, how is this coming out? It seems very stuck. It just comes right out. Gunk on the lip. Here's that little gear. As you can see, this is not keyed in any way, but it does have a square end on it. Oh yes, it is. Let's get a better look at that. Now I can see myself. Let's see if we can get the camera to focus. Okay, right there. You can see it's got a nub on it, right there. Right at the top there, there's a nub. So that's what we're going to be watching for when we put it back together. That, I bet you, is keyed to this. Let me get focus. I figured out how to use the manual focus on this. So let's do that. There we go. See how that's got that key on it right there? And then the gear also has that key on it. And those are going to go together when you put this back together. Only one way, because if you put them back together the wrong way, see how it's not going to fit flat? Well, like that, it's going to fit and it's going to be keyed correctly in assembly. So let's get this manual focus off. Alright, and then we got these two screws here that we'll take off. I like to have two screwdrivers, one with my Phillips, one with my flathead. And those are pretty loose. This one's too big. I'm just changing the screwdriver head. There we go. And then here, take that out. There we go. Plastics, this comes right off. Oh my god, look at all that grease. Look at that, you can see it right there. Somebody greased this for fun. This is all greased too. Alright. So you know what we'll be doing? We'll be taking those apart. And we'll get these 2 Phillips screws out of here, so we can get this coil off. Actually, let's leave that on for now. When we assemble this back together, we will take that off so we can put the new sleeve back in. So let's do that. We will leave that together. So when we get the new sleeve in, we can get it all put back together correctly. So there's no use taking these screws out and having this coil flop around as it's being cleaned, because you gotta remember, I always just do one of these on the video unless I find some other score reel is completely different. But I'll take this one apart and then we'll clean it and then we'll rebuild it. But I got all my keeping all the metal parts in this basket. We got all the metal parts in there, and then all the plastic parts will go in here, because those will go through the ultrasonic cleaner. And the metal parts I'll put in a different container and then ultrasonic clean them. But at least you see how this goes, and I hope with this monitor that I'm using over in the corner, giant 42 or 43 inch TV, I hope I can get this pointed out easier for you guys. But look at all that grease that's on there. It is just, it's sticky too. It's like really old and it's sticky. That will all come off. But it's pretty cool too. I can see, if I really wanted to, I could take these 2 screws off. The coil will come off with the bracket. I can take these 2 screws out here for the leaf switch, and then remove these 3 screws on the back, and this whole plate will come completely off, and we could clean it that way. I don't think we need to go that far, but this stuff definitely needs to be cleaned. Alright, so clap of my hands, we'll be back assembling this. Actually, all these other reels will be all cleaned and assembled, and we'll be leaving this one for last. So, oh, it doesn't work that way. How can I make this work better? It's hard to do this because I'm used to looking at the monitor on the camera, but it doesn't work when I have that one plugged in. So, I don't know. Ta-da. Alright, before we go any further, I just want to show you these reels. You can just see how nasty and disgusting they are. Let's get into my manual focusing. Here we go. This is the reel out of the machine. So when you see how dirty they are, that's just how nasty they were. This is a cleaned one. Notice it's got a shine. It's like brand new again. Just beautiful. These things come clean really super nice. put them right next to each other so you can see a comparison. And then get it so it's the same way. There you go. Notice this one, you can actually see reflections on it, and the other one you cannot. See, like the 4 you can see a little bit, but this is just so polished. You can actually see the 2 fluorescent lights real good. This one you can too a little bit. But yeah, that's the difference. Clean versus the dirty. So yeah, all these have to be hand polished and clean, and that's what I'll be doing next before they go back in the machine. We can't have this, but we can have this. So that's just years of nastiness. Alright, let's get back to the video. Alright, we're gonna put the coil sleeve in first, because I just did all the other coil sleeves on this machine, and I found out that these are just easier to do while they're just, you know, attached into the mechanism. There's a screw on the back here. It's just these, they're real stable inside the holder, so I figured I'd just pop them out this way. And that one was loose. It still had the locking. They got the little locking washers on them. You can kind of see it there. But this just pulls out of the way. This lifts up, and as you can see, this coil is stuck in there. You know why it's stuck in there? Because I have to use a lot of force to get it out, because these were all oiled. You actually see some of the oil on there. Somebody had oiled all these mechs, which is a big no. The plungers were oiled. The sleeves were oiled. Everything was oiled. There's all oil that's leaked out on this base here. It is just a pain in the butt. I'm just cleaning this off too. The outside, like I said, this outside doesn't need to be clean. You got it apart, might as well just clean it off real quick, dust it off, get the crumbs and crap out of it. As you can see with the new sleeve, see how it just goes in there real super easy. That other one was swollen right on the other side of this. That's why I had to pry it back and forth. Another thing, these sleeves, you cannot buy these sleeves for Chicago coin score reels. You must make your own. These are pretty kind of like a Williams, almost a Williams hybrid. Well, I shouldn't even really say that. It's kind of, these score reels are kind of like if Williams, Bally, and Gottlieb got together and had a kid and invented score reels. They're kind of basic. I thought I could use regular Williams sleeves, but these coils are just, you know, like a 1/4 inch too long, so the sleeves don't protrude past here, which helps them seat in there. So you can't really use Williams sleeves. You can't use Gottlieb sleeves because they're too long. This is an odd size, so I called my supplier, and he said he will not even attempt to think to make these sleeves, because this special odd size sleeve is only used for Chicago coin. So he said, cut your own sleeves. Get a longer sleeve of anything else and just cut them. So I took his advice and did it. So I had to cut 16 of them. And I learned how to cut them really, really super good. So since I had to cut all those, I ended up made a how-to cut sleeves. So I will put that on the screen or in the description of this video, so you can go right to it and see how to cut your own sleeves. Okay, all these coils are done. I'm going to go do this. That little line just lets me know that all these coil sleeves are done. And I actually got one reel rebuilt. Let's see if I can zoom out. I will show you the one reel I rebuilt already. Get my phone out of the way. I just want to test and see how everything went back together after the oil soaking, and they work perfect. Very minor little adjustments and tweaks to these reels to get them to work perfect, because you can actually adjust, let me see, this piece right here, it can get adjusted up or down to compensate for how this ratchet works. That, when we rebuild it, I'll be going over that, but I just wanted to show you how one looks like when it's rebuilt already, just so you can see the gist of it finished already. So I'm going to set all these odd. I'm going to set them all so when I plug it in and turn it on, they all are going to be at 20, 21. I don't know why I'm putting out that for that weird reason. But anyways, so let's get back to rebuilding that score reel. Alright, let's get back to, why is there all this garbage in here? Somebody messing with me? It's like way too much garbage inside this for some reason. Anyways, we got the score reels. Let me stick those back over here. I'm actually going to need them. As you can see, there's like right there, there's another score reel that's done. Why is all this garbage in here? Anyways, we're working on this one right here. That one we're going to be working on. And maybe I'm a little too close. Let's zoom out a little bit. So we're going to be cleaning that. So let's get this cord out of my way. That would help too. I get this new cord for the camera, and it's kind of in my way. Okay, I went through and I rebuilt all these, most of them, except for this last one. I went through and redid all these. As you can see, they all operate real nice and smooth. I am having a problem with every single one. Oh, I didn't snap that back in there correctly. These have a track that the front and back goes on. Every single one of these. Let me manual focus. Every one of these gears I'm having a problem with. The problem is, what I'm having is right here. This whole area here. Reason why is because this machine, all the entire score reel assemblies were soaked in grease, oil, sprayed, whatever. And what that did was caused the plastic to swell. And once that plastic swelled up, it caused this piece to swell up right here, and I actually had to push them out so hard they actually were making a snapping noise. and it shouldn't be doing that because that piece had swelled up. So that's giving me like a big issue with rebuilding these, and you can see all the grease that's on there that I'm actually going to remove right now. There's just so much grease that got on these. I know a lot of people, you know, they got these machines, they got them free or they bought them from somebody, and back in the day you looked in the yellow pages to see if there was video game places or whatever, and if you couldn't find nobody to repair your machine, you just either did what you did or tossed them out or sold them to somebody else, or just put them in a barn or whatever. So I'm guessing that's what happened with this one. Somebody just thought, well, okay, this is sticking a little bit. Let's, you know, just grease it, and that will be okay. Do me a favor down in the comments, way down here. Check out the description. If you want to help support the channel, if you like these videos, just click on the Amazon links and go buy something from Amazon. What it does is it just gives, it's a referral link. It just gives me a very small, tiny percent Amazon gives me for a thank you for you guys buying Amazon. If you're normally buying Amazon, that's perfect. It doesn't cost you any extra thing to help me, but it does help out the channel. So anyways, oh yeah, and our sponsor today, we have a sponsor. Our sponsor today is number 8. So anyways, now I'm going back. I'm going to degrease all these little clips and stuff because we're going to be needing them to rebuild it. All these are all extremely greasy too. I'm not putting all those back on after they've been soaked in oil and stuff. I need 5 screws and a spring. 6 screws actually. Oh, 3 springs. I forgot about those other ones. A long spring or short spring. And what I say, 6 screws, yeah. 2 stubby ones, 3 middle long ones, and 1 longer one. Still trying to figure out, I don't remember throwing all that junk inside this pinball machine. It's messing with me now. Why is all that junk in there? I don't know. Timestamp. Right now it's January 23rd. If any of you guys are trying to keep stamp progress, what I'm doing, when I'm doing it. This video you'll probably see April, May. I'm guessing you might see it. Okay, 2 screws, that. Yeah, I think I got all the pieces I need for that. Alright, let's jump that over there. Alright, now let's see how this gear, yeah. It's still got a little hang up. Right where I go through here, it should not be doing that. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of my sandpaper and just go right around here and sand that down just a little bit. I had to do it on every single one It kills me to do that because there should be no reason to do that. These things should fit in there perfectly, but like I said, after all these years of having grease on them, that plastic just swelled. Now you're thinking, okay, yeah, you know, why didn't you degrease them? I did. My ultrasonic cleaner that I use a degreasing fluid in there with the product. Okay, that's good now. I use a degreaser in with that product, and then when I did that, I also let these sit for a long time. This is garbage. I also let them sit for a long time too, just to make sure, you know, okay, I know they were soaking in water and cleaner for a while, but let's let them, you know, get clean and dry. So I did do that too. I did let them dry out, and because I figured, you know, they needed to dry out, so I did that, and nope, still the same issue, driving me nuts. Now I'm just taking my Q-tip, and I'm just dipping it into my naphtha. I'm just going to clean this shaft out. Just want to make sure any of that oil that dripped all over the place is gone. That is garbage. We're not reusing that. What do you call it? Q-tip. Now this is just my green scruffy scrudgy pad. 3M Scotch-Brite. And I'm just going over the part of the reel, the plate that the wipers hit. You don't need to go all over here and everything, because the wipers don't hit any of that area. I'm just going right where they hit. Now another thing you are not even going to notice is this casino. As soon as I get done rebuilding these reels here, it's going to go sit on a back burner for a while, because I sold Star Action. And since I sold Star Action, that game is next to be rebuilt. So you won't see any more of these videos for a while. You will see Star Action, but then you wouldn't even know that, so why am I telling you? Because you're going to see Star Action before this casino. I might let the intro video go out first, just like I did with Star Action. But now you're getting confused. That Star Action intro that I'm talking about right now was released. I got that. I can't even remember when I bought it. But I got that before I got this casino, I think. Anyways, you're all confused now. Okay. Again, let's go on manual focus. As you can see here, right on the top, there's that little nub. See, it's square here, square here, square here. Now that neatly goes right into there, so we're keyed. When we put these together, it's keyed. It's only can go in one way, and with this hole here, that gives you a reference of where your key is. So they will go in together like that, just like that. So that gives you that little reference for keying. So you can't get these off whack out of adjustment the wrong way. Now we'll focus back. Alright, let's get my super lube. Super lube. Take a little pinky dab. I didn't get enough on there. A little pinky dab, and we're going to rub it all in real good. Right around here. And I might as well leave the cover off. As soon as I'm done rebuilding this one with you on camera, I'm going to shut the camera off, turn the jukebox on, and play some tunes. Okay, I'm going to pop that up through the bottom. Do you want to be a little closer? Alright, that goes up through the bottom. And remember we talked about the key, which is the little knob right there now. And that's going to line up with this hole right here. You always want to make sure these two are bent down just enough. So when you do push this down, you can see that the leaves flex up just a little bit. I'm going to make sure I got that keyed right now. Okay, we do got a little flex there. Now the screw. There's another one too. There's going to be another little lesson. Oh, I knocked that down. Then I'm going to show you on this too. Wrong screwdriver. Always helps use the correct one. Now on these, I'm going to tighten this down. Let me show you this screw better. Glad I figured out how to autofocus this thing. Okay, the screw. It has this little washer on it. It's built into the screw. We're going to tighten that down just till this washer stops spinning on that blurry assembly right there. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. But I'm going to tighten that down just till that stops spinning. The reason why is because you're going to put too much tension. I didn't put that damn spring on, son of a. Okay, don't watch anything I just did. I just did everything wrong. We put the spring on first. Now, we're gonna get this crazy little clip, which is a pain in the butt to put on. I clamp it on with my little forceps. You gotta get this spring underneath the clamp, just like that. Can you see how that is? The spring is underneath, it's free floating now, and this clamp is actually holding this in. Alright, we got that. So now, let's get our wiper on. Where it's supposed to go. I was wondering why it was falling out in my hand. Alright. Now we're getting back to this. I always want to make sure it's still keyed as I'm tightening this down. Because if you tighten this down too much, this does get a preload on it, which makes it not spin as good as it needs to. I don't know if you can see it, my washer's still spinning a little bit. So I'm gonna give it a little more tight, and yeah, I still got a little spin. I'm just gonna keep tightening it a little bit so I can't spin it with my fingers anymore. And get a little spin out of it. Okay, now you know this whole wiper assembly is tight enough. Because these aren't like the most free-flowing assemblies. If I crank this down real tight, this is going to be really hard to move like that. So you want it tightened down just enough, and it should have, see how I'm pulling down on this? I'm pulling this down with my fingers, and it's got a spring back to it. You want to make sure it's still got that spring, because when I before I shaved down those big gear assemblies with my sandpaper, it was actually sticking on other assemblies I did. That's why I usually do assemblies off camera, and then I do just one on camera, so I can figure out what are the issues that we're going through, or we're gonna go through, or you might go through, and I can resolve them, try to, instead of taking 3 hours to do a simple video like this. And I can get down everything nice and easy, so when we do get on camera, I can walk through it easier. Even though I just did some basic easy screw-ups, I still want to show you exactly how we're doing things. Okay, but yeah, you can see how it's got a nice bounce to it. And you can see how these leaves are springing back. So, which is good. This is all set now. Alright, next part. Take this little gear, which is nice too. If you look at this gear, see how it's got that notch in there? That's like designed so this, you can drop that right down in there and it goes in. Because if you hit it like this, you can't get it under there easy because of this metal post. So if you put that just like that, it lets this piece drop right down nice in there. And that uses one of these little C-clips that holds it on. And watch out with these two, because you will lose them. So I did lose one. I have no idea where it went. I heard it fling that way. Alright. Okay, we got that little clip in. Now we're going to take, we got 2 springs. We're going to take this longer one. And that, let me back you out a little bit. That one's going to hook on here. It's going to hook on the end here and hook right there. Just like that. And this doesn't hardly have any tension to it. Alright. And now we're gonna need the plunger. Let me get a piece of wore out steel wool. These I just give them a little clean. Even though these were ultrasonic cleaned, they still get a little staining or sediment on them. I like to clean them off. This goes in just like this. Just slides in there like that and goes like that. Now this piece is going to set on top, but I found out it's easier for me to hook the spring on this hook and hook it on here and then work it, that piece on. I'll show you. Because this spring is kind of a pain in the butt to stretch. I found out we're going to do it like this. I'm going to stick this underneath it. And then put it on. Like that. Okay, now these pieces too, let's take all this off so you can see it better. These have these nubs on them. Let's focus again. It's got these nubs right here and here. Those lock into the adjusting spots on the plate here, which is right here, but you can't see that good, right here and right there. This allows this piece to be adjusted up and down to compensate for the movement of this, which is really strange on how Chicago Coin did their reels. Like I said, I like to hook it on here. I already rebuilt 8 of these reels, and I found out it's better for me to do it this way. Hook it under there and then slip this under here. Oops. It helps if you put it under the right way. How many minutes we got left? 23:51. I'm gonna either have to restart this or finish it quick. Alright, now that piece, it's in the holes. It can be adjusted up and down slightly. As you can see it moving like that. It allows a little bit of adjustment for this, and I'll show you when. So let's get these screws in, and these screws here are very crucial. You do not lose them, because they screw into this thin metal here, and they hit the back of this plate. There's no spacing, so this screw is a certain length. If it's too short, you're going to barely grab the metal, and if they're too long, you're going to pop through and hit the circuit board. We're going to get you over here so I can get you on that adjustment a little bit. Okay, I'm going to have a little hard time because that wiper is going to want to hit. As we're doing the adjustment, like I said, this plate, it can go up and down, but we're going to do it right here, right where this piece meets this piece right here. I want it just a little room so I can see the metal between it. I don't know, you can see that? I can see just a little metal between this piece and this piece right here. That's what I want. That screwdriver is the wrong size. There we go. You don't have to worry too much about these screws because they got lock washers on them. As you can see, there's now just a very small little hairline between them since we tighten those screws up. Now that lets this move effortlessly now. There's no binding or nothing. And it keeps the engagement in. There you can see. You can see the very fine little opening right there between them. And that lets this go effortlessly now. It's not hanging up or anything. It's keeping this tight up against these gears that you can see here. So we're getting perfect clearance that we need. Because if this piece was adjusted more that way, we were going to hit the ends of the gears, and it would eventually wear the ends of the gears out, where they would strip them. I don't know how long it would take to do it since these machines are so old as it is. Alright, next thing. You see we got a groove there. You also got a groove here. And also notice, you got the lump here. That's another ingenious way of letting you know how you can key them. You can see you got the lump here, right there, and you got the lump there. It lets you show you that you got them keyed perfect. And these just go in. No He-Man on these either. We're just going to tighten these just so they're down and snug. Get your little screwdriver. I'm going to tighten them all down and just go around them like a tire. Like the lug nuts on a tire. Okay. Just all there. As you can see how my screwdriver is slipping. I know they're tight enough now. There. And that's it. Smooth as Chicago coin silk. Look how nice some reels turned out. Got a nice reflection on them and everything. I cleaned these the exact same way as I did my Grand Prix score reels. In the how-to section you can see and how I cleaned them. And you can see how the wiper goes around real super nice now. And that's what you want. When I had this tightened down too tight, it was sticking a little bit. It would get to about like there, and if I moved it, it would go the rest of the way. So like I said, you want that washer just till it stops spinning to get the right tension on there. And then that will just slide down and lock in. And ta-da, we're all rebuilt. So we're almost out of time. Give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Look down in the comments section in the description. There's a link for Amazon. Please click on that if you do any shopping. It helps out the channel. It helps me buy chemicals and all that cool stuff. So like us on Facebook. Click the subscribe button.